Hi, everyone. I'm Stephanie Dreyer, a plant-based meal planning expert and the founder of stephaniedreyer.com, where I help busy parents bring more joy and ease to their meal prep and their meal times. I am also the mom of three. We are a mixed bunch. I'm a vegan. My oldest is a vegetarian, and then I've got three other omnivores, two kids and my husband. So I have been on a journey for my oldest is 15, so 10 plus years trying to streamline and simplify my meal planning process to bring more joy back to my kitchen and my cooking, which I love to do. And I'm here on Meal Plan Monday. Welcome, welcome, to talk to you today about meal planning lunch. So it is back to school, and so for many of us, that means back to packing lunches. But today I'm going to talk not just about packing for our kids, but also packing for ourselves to get into a healthy meal prep and planning groove for lunch. So I have three kids, like I mentioned. I've got a high schooler, a middle schooler, and my son is in elementary school. And my two girls, my middle school and high schooler, have decided to start making their own lunches. They are like done with having mom pack their lunches. And I had a little bit of anxiety about this because I am so used to being controlling and type A and making sure that they eat everything that they're supposed to be eating. But they surprisingly, or not surprisingly maybe, really have stepped up and have said, Mom, no, we've got this. We know what we're doing. And so we're kind of finding a new groove together, the three of us, where they're planning and telling me what they're going to cook. And then because I can't let go, I am still prepping. I do a batch cook Sunday. So actually I should take a step back. So for those of you who don't know me and are new to Meal Plan Monday, every Thursday I meal plan. I have a date with myself, and I believe life is so much better with a meal plan. I could not do it all with my family if I didn't have a meal plan. And my goal is to cook 5 to 7 dinners dinners a week, homemade, cook, sit down together, eat as a family, connect over food. And then, of course, we have breakfast and lunch that I also prep and plan for us as well. But my goal and focus on getting that done is to have a date with myself every Thursday to meal plan. And then I shop on Friday, and then I batch cook on Sunday. So my girls are getting into that with me. And so on Wednesday, Thursday, I will ask them, so hey, what do you guys want to make for lunch this week? They tell me, I wrap it into the plan in grocery shop. But then on Sunday, I'm still doing some batch cooking. That's where I recently did a Facebook Live all about batch cooking and what I do, some of the foods I make, how I try to simplify my lunches and my dinners by batch cooking on Sundays. And so I'll batch cook a few things for them, and then they make and pack their own lunches. So that's then, but I still have my son to plan and cook for, and then myself, of course. My husband's on his own. Thankfully, gratefully, he does his own meal prep and planning for himself for his lunches that he takes to work. So today I wanted to talk to you about a few tips that I use to make meal planning lunch really easy and simple. Simplify the process, right? The process should work for us. So take what I say today, and if it doesn't work for you, don't use it. It's supposed to make your life easier. So if meal prepping this way doesn't work, but maybe something else does, or hopefully it inspires you to do something in your life, that's a win. Okay, so that's number one. And number two, I'm gonna share some of my favorite, I geek out, you guys, I geek out over meal prep containers and lunchbox containers because I don't know why, I just do. So I'm gonna share some of those with you. And then I'm also gonna share some of my tips, or no, we already said tips, some meal ideas for lunches to maybe if you're in a lunch rut and you're making sandwiches and salads over and over again, maybe these ideas will inspire you, okay? So let me give a shout out. A few people are joining. Hi, Natalie. Oh my goodness. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so I'm to start with my tips, okay? So I just gushed all about meal planning. That's my number one tip. Plan it out. Life is so much easier with a meal plan. It takes 15 minutes if you wait till the end, I'm going to give you a link to download a free planner, and you can literally map out what you're cooking for the week. So simple, so easy. My second idea is, or tip, is to pick 2 to 3 for lunch specifically. Pick 2 to 3 meals that you're going to rotate throughout the week. This makes my next tip, batch cooking, even simpler, because if you pick 2 or 3 things, then you can make it in a big batch. Like for example, I'm doing like a Southwest bowl for lunch this week, probably 3 times this week. And so I batch cook the dressing on the weekend. I batch cook my sweet potatoes on the weekend. And then I just have to throw the rest of my bowl, all the veggies and stuff together and drizzle the dressing on top. And that makes packing also really easy. I'm lucky because I work from home, but if you're packing to take to an office or somewhere else, it's really easy to pack your dressing separately in containers and your vegetables and all of that. So if you pick 2 or 3 things, you really only have to cook a couple things and then batch it out for the rest of the week. So I do that with my kids too. So I usually have, and I think this is one of my tips too. No, maybe not. Okay, this is a bonus tip I'm coming up with. So is to have categories. And I do this with dinner as well, is like, so maybe one day is sandwiches or 2 days are sandwiches. And I have like a wrap that I'm thinking of, this pesto cream cheese wrap that I'll do for the kids. It's like a garden wrap. So we know I'm going to make that 2 days. I slot that in. I know I'm going to make, last week we did pizza rolls. That was 3 days because I make a huge batch and I alternate that with the sandwich or whatever it might be. So you see what I'm saying? Like, pick a couple of ideas so you don't have to reinvent the wheel every day of the week. And I used to be, I hate, I shouldn't say I love leftovers, but I get bored with making my kids the same thing every day. So I was like trying to kill myself coming up with all these new ideas, and my kids would be happy with just their same, peanut butter and jelly every day. So I don't know. So see what your kids like, obviously, and what do you need variety. I'm pretty good with mixing and matching, 2 or 3 meals a week and just rotating them. I'm going to come back to some meal ideas as I want to fast forward to some other tips. So I mentioned batch prepping. We just covered that. That's my 3rd tip. You want to prep a few things in advance. That makes it so much easier. And then mix up the ordinary is my 4th. Is that number 4? 4th tip. So a sandwich doesn't just have to be a sandwich. Change it up. Instead of serving it on on regular sandwich bread, put it on a kebab, put it on a bagel or a slider bun. Like, have fun, and your kids will think you're like so original and fun because you've changed up, how you're serving it. Also, another idea is like, don't serve it on a bun. Like, do a deconstructed sandwich where you have like their crackers or bread or whatever it is, and then you have the protein on the side and the cheese on the side and whatever vegetables, whatever you have like that. Just deconstruct and get creative with how you serve it up. Cut it into shapes. We've heard all these things before, but kids love color, texture. Heck, we do too. I like to serve my lunch up in different fun, cute ways. I hate eating on a paper plate. I always try to eat my lunch on a nice dish. Even though I work from home, I serve myself in a nice plate, and I really plate it and make it beautiful because, we deserve it. So it makes it more enjoyable to eat. And I'll show you some of these containers that I use to show you why I get so excited and geek out over meal prep containers, but we'll get to that in a second. Okay, my next tip, number 5, I think it is to use a formula. So this is more for my kids. I don't necessarily do this for me, but because I have to usually pack them a snack, it's not just lunch. We're getting, they break for snack and then they have lunch. So they have a couple different times they're eating. I usually, for me, and this again, do what works for your family. It's some kind of main, whether it's a sandwich, a salad, a pasta, a chili, whatever it is. And then I do some kind of crunchy. My kids love like a cracker or a pretzel or a chip or a veggie crisp or something like that. And then I do 2 fruits and veggies. So like today, for example, my son got sliced cucumbers and cherry tomatoes. So I try to aim for at least 2 fruit and veg so that there's a lot of healthy stuff in there, right? As well as the stuff that isn't not as healthy, but it's like more the fun stuff, like crackers and pretzels aren't giving them their daily nutrition count, let's say. So that actually was life-changing. I don't want to downplay that. Once I made up a formula, it took a lot of the thinking out and actually I'll just show you, like, let's say this is one of the Planet boxes, one of the my new finds that I got this year. And so this one's a small one, but a lot of them I have another one that he's using today that has a bunch of different compartments. And I'd be like wondering, what do I put in all these compartments? So it kind of takes the thinking out of what to pack. If you think, okay, I've got to plug in a crunch, I've got to plug in a fruit, so anyway, again, trying to simplify, trying to make it really easy, no thinking required. Next tip, take requests. I mentioned on Wednesdays or Thursday nights over dinner, I'll ask the kids, what do you want to eat for lunch? What do you want me to pack? It doesn't have to be all up to you. And I was feeling that pressure, when I first started doing this with my family. It's like I had to come up with these original fun ideas that were going to wow them every day. And like I mentioned, they just wanted the same thing. So ask them for their requests and keep a running list. That's key. So you start to get a list of their favorites, you know what they like, and then you can go back to tip number 1 or tip number 2 and just rotate 2 or 3 things in and out of your plan. My next tip is to reuse leftovers. So I just made a great lunch for Jake this week. We have tacos every Tuesday, and we had leftover filling and we had leftover rice. And it wasn't a ton, so I was like, I didn't want to throw it out because it was more than what I should toss away. And I was like, it's not enough to make a whole meal, reuse to make a whole meal for the family. So then I thought, why don't I make some taquitos? So I literally used those fillings. I made a batch of taquitos, homemade baked taquitos, and he's gonna have that this week for lunch. Let's fingers crossed, I hope he likes them. But it was simple and easy, and you can freeze them. So if he doesn't eat all of them this week, I can freeze them and pull them out for my lunch actually this week as well. Okay, last tip, and then I'm gonna go into my some meal ideas, and then I'm gonna show you my favorite meal prep containers. So last tip is to post your menu. I know that sounds like a no-brainer, but believe it or not, it saves you so much frustration. And I don't know, for me at least, I'm a planner. I like to be thinking ahead. My kids are constantly asking me, what's for dinner? What's for lunch? What are you packing? Blah, 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 blah. It's really easy if you post the menu in a visible place in your kitchen where you can easily access and reference it, so that you can be thinking ahead of okay, what do I need to, when you're making dinner, you can think ahead, what do I need to, is there anything I need to prep? Is there anything I want to do tonight? Instead of if you're a packer in the morning, I don't know, I try to do all my packing while I'm doing dinner prep. And it just helps to simplify and take a little bit of the angst. I was getting so sick of that question. What's for dinner? What's for lunch? I just say, go look at the menu, and then I can smile. Okay, enough tips. Any questions before I move on? I've got some fun. I mentioned trying to change up your ideas for packing lunch. So I've got a few ideas here. I'm just gonna read them off. I'm gonna go into more detail. If you want some more ideas and recipes, I'm going to be posting this video on my website under my blog, and I'm going to go and link to some specific recipes and some ideas. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out later this week. So I mentioned wraps. That's one of my favorite things. You can cut them into pinwheels, roll them up and put them into pinwheels, or you can slice them in half, and you can use different types of layers for your wrap. So you could use a tortilla, of course, but there's also lavash. There's different kinds of tortillas that change things up. You can use lettuce leaves or collard greens, sushi nori you can use, and have a lot of fun with wraps. So I love them. You can tie them up cute with paper, with twine. There's so many cute things you can do with wraps. I mentioned pizza rolls. That is a favorite with my family. My kids love pizza rolls. I'm going to link to that on my website. Pasta and pasta salad. So my kids love pasta, and I was they don't get bored of it, but I get bored of making the same thing. So I started changing their pasta into a type of salad. So it's really easy to take their favorite pasta, add a simple dressing, and toss it with some veggies. Super easy lunch. Rolls are another thing. So I mentioned pinwheels, but you can also do sushi rolls. We do a lot of veg sushi rolls in my house with tofu and vegetables. You can get so creative with those and have a lot of fun. And the great thing about rolls and wraps too are that you can customize them for each kid without feeling like you're making 3 different lunches, right? You can have all your stations set up, and I'm speaking from my experience here, obviously, of being able to make one meal. It was I used to make wrap for this one, and this one wanted chili, and this one wanted pasta, and was no. We're doing wraps today. What kind of wrap do you want? So that kind of allows for customization, and I think that's a great way to make everyone happy and not become a short order cook. Bowls are one of my favorites things to make, because all you really need is some kind of grain, some kind of green, a protein and vegetables, and a yummy sauce. And you can do Asian, you can do Latin, you can do Mediterranean, Italian, you can do them so many different ways. Lettuce wraps are another fun one. Make a filling and pack some lettuce leaves, and there you go. Super easy lunch. Kebabs, we already talked about sandwich kebabs, but kebabs in general are great, fun, and easy to pack for lunch. And then I mentioned doing like the deconstructed lunch. Like I think of a Lunchable, but healthier, like where you could have different crudité and hummus, or cheese slices, or sliced, lunch meat, or tofu cubes, things like that. And I know my son, he loves to take his pickles and put them between potato chips. So I'm trying to like make that a little healthier. It's fun for him. But like you could pack those little pretzel crisps and have that deconstructed kind of idea. Same thing where he could take his pickle slices and cheese or whatever else I have in his lunchbox. So that's another fun idea. They like to be tactile. They like to be interactive. So meals that are deconstructed are always a win. That's why I like the sandwich kebab idea. Okay, so now really quick, we have a couple more minutes, and shout out your questions if you have any on meal planning and prepping lunch. I'm going to show you a few of my favorite finds. Like I mentioned, I geek out over these meal prep containers. I just love them. And my newest finds, and these are all, I'm not getting sponsored or anything, these are all things that I use and I like, and that's why I'm sharing them. My first thing I want to share is I'm trying to go more zero waste in my house. And so I've been doing a lot of reading and research, and Rezip is a brand that I am in love with. And it's not just for food, but you can use these for anything. But they have them in these big gallon sizes, but then they also have them, and they even have them in a smaller size than these two. And I use the smaller ones. Shoot, I should have grabbed they have probably, imagine it like this size, that I'll use to pack. Like my oldest, she puts her cucumbers in there and stuff like that. So these I love these for meal prep. And you can use, if you're like for breakfast, if you're making smoothies and you're prepping smoothie bags, these are really great for smoothie bags. They're also really great for storing lettuce greens and veggies. Next is, these aren't so much for the kids, but they're great for mom and dad packing. Mason jars. I love my ball jars. These, I get them in different sizes. They're great for doing, what am I trying to say? Salad jars. Like this is a fun way to pack your salad, either your pasta salad or whatever. You can put the dressing in the bottom and then all the veggies and greens on top, and so it doesn't get soggy. You can make overnight oats in these. So fun. So that's another one. I already showed you my Planet box. This is one of them. This is it's stainless steel. It's one of my favorite. It's my go-to lunchbox right now for Jake. They have different kinds. And I also love that they have these little containers, so like I can put hummus, or I made pizza rolls last week and put his pizza sauce in one of these so he could dip. He's really having fun with those. And then these are a long time favorite, Sistema. You can get these at the Container Store. I think you can even get them at Target. So let me show you. This is a great one for salad, obviously, or when you're making bowls. When I do my veg sushi bowls, the girls do that. But I really love for salads this one, because show you. This thing pops out and you can put your dressing in there, and then you can put your salad in here. But then I like it because then there's room to put like the snack on top here. So you really only need one container for lunch and snack for the kids. So I thought that was pretty cool. One less, I'm always thinking about reducing the number of dishes I have to wash when they come home. And then this is like just the sandwich box, and this is cool because it has a container for the sandwich, or the compartment for the sandwich, but then it also has the two compartments for, again, snack. You only really need one container. And then last thing I wanted to show you, so random, you guys, but my daughter and I were shopping, back to school shopping at Forever 21, and we're standing in the checkout line, and they put all this stuff out for you to look at, and my daughter gets sidetracked because she also geeks out over meal prep containers, over these cutest containers. And if you haven't followed me, you're going to find out I love food puns. So look at this, says I'm soy into you, and it's a little soy sauce. And then I love you so matcha, and it's a matcha tea. And I think there's another one in here. Oh, look. Love you for real. With the pho. I can't. They were so, my daughter was like, we have to get these, Mom. These are so you. So be on the lookout is my point. You never know where fun meal prep containers are going to pop up. So as I promised, any questions, shout them out there. As I promised, I told you I was going to share a free download for a meal planner. So I just wrapped my back to school dinner challenge where we were committing to a week of home cooked dinners. And that just ended yesterday. It was a blast. If you joined me, thank you. Thank you. I hope you had as much fun as I did. And I'm keeping it going. I'm rolling it over into my 7-day dinner challenge. It's rolling, ongoing. You can join in whenever. And you can sign up at my website or at bit.ly/7-day dinner challenge. This number 7-day dinner challenge, bit.ly/7-day dinner challenge. And you can get it's a free challenge guide. And in there is a meal planner so that you can plan your meals. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching. If you think somebody you know would enjoy this, please feel free to share the video. Give me a like, and join me if you haven't over on Instagram for more fun tips and ideas and meal solutions that I share over there. I'm at Veegmama, VEEGMAMA, here on Facebook and on Instagram. And then, like I said, I'm here every Monday for Meal Plan Monday, sharing fun tips and tricks to bring more joy and ease to mealtime. We tackled lunch today. We're going to tackle breakfast next week, and I'm really excited. I have some fun. I have lots of ideas for getting out of a dinner rut. I was inspired to do this Facebook Live because my oldest daughter was there. So my son, my husband makes him breakfast, but my daughters kind of do their own thing, kind of like their lunches, right? Teens. And she would always ask me, I would come down and make in my smoothie, Mom, what should I eat for breakfast? And I'm like, I could think of 50 million ideas. So finally what I did is I brainstormed a bunch of ideas to see what she thought sounded good, and I came up with a few great ideas for her, but I came up with a fabulous list for you guys to share all these breakfast ideas that maybe she might not have liked, but maybe your family will. I think I've got like 12 or 15 to share with you. So hope you'll join for that. Have a beautiful day. Happy Meal Plan Monday, and I hope to see you over on Facebook or Instagram. Take care.